Okay, as promised, this is a video to explain the real stinky ratbag questions that have come up as a consequence of the data, mode, mean, median and range work that we've been doing. I think all of these basically require mean, so it is mean. The mean is obviously the hardest one to work out, and these are particularly challenging. They do come up, but they only come up roughly once in a paper. So at the end of the day, out of the 50 questions that the children normally end up sitting, you normally only get one. So it's only really worth 2%, but it may be a 2% that you actually need. So moving on. Here's the first one, the golf one. Jed Irongrit plays professional golf. In a recent tournament, he played 4 rounds of golf. Here are the scores for 3 of the rounds. What did he get in the 4th round? Now, for this one, we've got a missing value. Whenever they miss out one of the values, they always tell you what the mean is. And the idea is you start with the mean and you multiply it by the number of values, and that will give you the total. So here we've got 71 for our mean. We times it by 4 and that will give us 284. Now if we add up these 3 values here that we already know, we will get a total of 211. So if I call that known values, all we have to do is a quick take away. 4 take 1 is 3, 8 take 1 is 7, 2 take 2 is 0, so the missing value will be 73. So that's one where we work backwards from knowing the mean and all the values except one to work out that missing value. So the missing value is 73. Moving on to the second part of the question, the winner of the tournament was Blaze Fairway. He beat Jed by 8 shots, so he scored a total of 8 hits less. What was Blaze's mean average score? Well, moving back to what we've just looked at, we worked out that the total that Jed had was 284. So let's go forward. So let's just note down, Jed is 284. We know that Blaze had 8 less, or the score was better by 8. So let's take the 8 away. We get 14 take away 8 is 6, 7 take nothing is 7, and 2 take nothing is 2. So Blaze's score is 276. To work out Blaze's mean, we take that 276 and we divide by 4 as he played 4 rounds of golf. 4s into 2 doesn't go, so we carry the 2 forward. 4s into 27, the closest we can get is 6, which is 24, which gives us a remainder of 3, and then 4s into 36 goes 9. So Blaze's mean average score would be 69. That's that question done. Moving on to the next one where we have to fill in the values in the table. For the first one up at the top, again, we've got all of the values except this one here, but we are given the mean. So the first thing we do is work out the total of all of the 5 values by using the mean and working backwards. So our mean is 9. We times that by 5 because that's how many values we've got all together, which gives us a total of 45. Now, if we look at this value here, 6 and 12 and 8 and 10, when we add those together, we get a value of 36. So 36 is the total of the known values. So to work out the missing value, we basically take away. 5 take 6 you can't do, so we've got 15 take 6 is 9, and then 3 take 3 is 0. So this value is 9. We use the same method for the next one along. Here we've got a total, if we do 17 times 5, of 85. Then our known values add up to 64. Take that away and you get an answer of 21. So this missing value will be 21. For both of these questions, you should be able to add together the 5 values and it will make the mean times by 5. The last one is a little bit simpler because all it's done is give you 5 values and then you have to find the mean. So this is more conventional. Add them up, you get 125. Divide them by the number of values, which is 5, and that gives us a mean of 25. Moving on to the next one. The average of 6 numbers is 4. If one of the numbers is 2, what is the average of the other 5? It sounds like a real load of gobbledygook. I like to do these quite visually, so what I'd be tempted to do is just draw 6 boxes as we have 6 numbers. And put some add signs in. So the idea is we don't know what the numbers are, but we know that the mean, or the average here, is 4. So working back, if we know that the mean is 4, well, if we times that by the number of values, which is 6, we will get a total of 24. So we know when we add all these numbers together, we get a total of 24. We don't know what the numbers are. That's not an issue at the moment. We're told that one of the numbers is 2. Let's just pop that one in the end there. We don't know the others, but we have to work out the average of the other 5. Well, if all of the numbers add up to 24, these 5 numbers here must add up to 22. The question asks us to find the average of the other 5 numbers, so that's these ones here. So to find the average, we have 22. We divide by the number of values in question, which is 5. This is a bus stop one where the answer will give us a decimal because it doesn't end with a 5 or a 0. So 5s into 2 doesn't go, carry the 2 forward. 5s into 22 will give 4, but we do have a remainder, so I'll put some zeros on the end. Our remainder is 2. Let's put our decimal point in. How many 5s in 20? The answer is 4, and therefore we don't need those other 2 zeros as we have no further remainder. So the average of the other 5 numbers is 4.4. Quite long-winded and challenging, but quite logical if you look at it visually. The next one is about the cricketer. Okay, cricketer's average score for 6 innings is 12. So for this one here, the first stage is to work out how many runs the cricketer scored in total. So we've got 6 innings, and in each one he scored 12 runs, so our total is 72. I'll just note down that that's the total after it. It says, what must he score in his next innings to make an average of 13? Okay, to get a mean of 13, he needs a total of, well, let's work it out. 7 innings times, let's see, a 13 mean would give us 91. So, if after 6 innings he has 72, and after 7 innings he has 91, how many extra runs does he need? Let's do a takeaway sum. Always remember to put the biggest number on the top. 1 take 2 you can't do. 11 take 2 is 9. 8 take 7 is 1. So his final innings he must have scored 19. Another very challenging question. Okay, this one here, the mean of the following 10 numbers is 2.4. Find the missing number. Notice here, this is our missing number. Let's just check. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And here's our missing one here. So the mean is 2.4. If there are 10 numbers and the mean is 2.4, we can work that backwards. Mean times the number of values will equal the total. So our mean is 2.4. Altogether, including our unknown value, we have 10 values. So we know that the total must be 24. Now we've got all of these values here that we know. And when we add those up together, the known ones equal 22. So if we do a quick takeaway sum, getting rid of those ones that we know, the missing value must be 2. And if we were to insert that back in here, we would get a total of 24, which means we get a mean of 2.4. Another one where you have to work backwards. Now this one's a bit of a breath of fresh air after the one we've just been looking at. All his angelfish has a mean number of 9 babies each. There are 72 baby angelfish in her tank. How many mother angelfish does she have? Well, we just take our 72 babies and we split them such that each of the mothers has 9, and that means we must have 8 mothers. Quite a breath of fresh air. And finally, here we go. The average of 4 numbers is 10.5. If the average of 3 of them is 9, what is the fourth number? Another one where you can get quite brain pickled. Look at it visually and it works quite easily. So here we go, let's just draw 4 boxes for the 4 values. Okay, when we add them together, we don't know the total, but we know that the average is 10.5 or 10.5. So if we times that by 4, that'll give us the total. 5 times 4 is 20, and then 0 times 4 is 0, add the 2 is 2, 1 times 4 is 4, so our total is 42. Now the next bit says, if the average of 3 of them is 9, what is the fourth number? Well, let's say it's these 3 here. We know that the average is 9. Therefore, the total must be that average times the number of values. 9 times 3, because we're only looking at 3 of those numbers, is 27. So 42 is your total for all of the numbers. 27 is the total for just these 3. So to work out the missing number, you just find the difference between 42 and 27. You're finding what's been added onto that 27 to make 42. So 42, take 27, 12 take 7 is 5, 3 take 2 is 1, and that missing number must be 15. Now they are hard. As I said, you only tend to get 1 like this in each paper, but if you can master them, it's an extra 2% that may come in useful.